Manchester United edge past Crystal Palace with a gritty 2-1 win at Selhurst Park. 3 massive points that keep the Champions League chase alive. Let's break down the goals, the key moments, and what this performance really says about where the team is headed. John, I feel like this could have turned a completely different way if a couple of those chances for the Eagles fell in the first half. Tale of two halves. I can't believe we fought back and got 3 points.
Can I get a consistent 90 from Manchester United? We're a long ball, long throw team. Ruben Amorim coming in with that great football from Portugal, Sporting Lisbon. But you know what? It's a results-based business. We slam the table on that. And at Manchester United, winning matters. A gritty away win at Crystal Palace. They're in form. Glasner's upset. He's fuming. He's trolling us in the post-match presser. It doesn't matter. We're Manchester United. We got those 3 points, and it's about the fight for top 4. It's about top 4, top 5. Who knows what it's going to be next year ultimately, but United need to be thinking Europe, and we need to be thinking the angelic voices Champions League, and that is within grasp. Look, we're 7th. People are getting all fired up about the live table. We're 6th. We're this. That's not that important. It's about, can we put together a string of results? Can we build on this? I feel like we've had gritty wins. We've had gritty draws. We haven't taken that next step. And I'm waiting for Manchester United to take the next step.
Consistent football is what it takes to be a top side. That's what's going to be necessary in order for Manchester United to be competing for titles once again, to be competing for the top silverware in European football. And today, it was not that, but it was gritty. First half, a lot to be forgotten. Not great from United, sloppy at times. They got behind us too easily. They had some chances that probably should have fallen, and gotten in the back of the net without having to get a penalty. They got a soft penalty, Leny Yoro, and Mateta gets a second bite at the apple after a foul kick on the penalty. You don't see every day, but United did fight back in the second half. Let's get into that starting 11, sir. It was a familiar one given the injuries and the omissions in this squad. We had Zirkzee up top with Mount and Mbeumo as well. We had Casemiro and Bruno Fernandes as the holding 2, Dalot on the left, Diallo on the right, Shaw, De Ligt, and Yoro as the back 3, and Lemens in net. Only one change from the previous game, with Mount coming in as a starter. What were your thoughts when you saw this 11, sir? Early mornings.
Look, I thought Mason Mount should come in. Obviously, Cunha's not ready to go. Šeško's not ready to go. Maguire's not ready to go, ultimately. But that 10-man performance against Everton, you have a bad taste in your mouth. You'd like to maybe see a Kobbie Manu. You'd like to see the manager change the game. But I think we're in survival mode a little bit here under Ruben Amorim. And we're going away. He sticks with it. And look, the lads get a result. I can't really complain, sir. Let's jump in to that 90 minutes. First half, right away, Casemiro had a great opportunity from a long throw United. The league has changed. It's a weird season. Everyone's going physical. Everyone's going long ball. We're doing it, and we're doing a good job. Casemiro almost has a goal in the first minute.
And he was active again, 8th minute. He had a free header from a set piece. United looking like a different side, a team that scores from corners, a team that scores from set pieces. And some of our best chances in that half were from Casemiro. Usually used to seeing him dunk it.
But you like to have some football in there with these opportunities, sir. You like to have some, the opportunity that Wharton's creating for Crystal Palace. Maybe sign that lad up.
He's a player. There's a couple players in that Palace side that you'd like to sign up. And it was a lot of, the Eagles with the better moments. If you go out through the rest of that first half, like you said, the 12th minute, the ball fell to Wharton from a corner, but he blasted it right at Lemens. I think we got away with one there. And then 14th minute, United made an absolute meal of defense. Mateta is free on goal, but he slices just wide. So this is another good chance for them. 26th minute, again, more Palace coming at United. They were cut open on the break. Yoro with a big block on the 6-yard line. And then there's the 33rd minute penalty for Leny Yoro on Mateta. I think it was a soft one.
It was clear pen. That was
a soft one. He gets a touch.
That's a Muppet soft.
It was soft. It was soft. He touched them.
Here's the thing. What do you notice?
They deserved to score earlier.
What do you know about the recap?
Coming at
us.
us.
Manchester United got 10 minutes of long throws and set pieces, and then all of a sudden, Crystal Palace are balling, cutting us open, even though we have 3 defenders on the field. And look, they had a lot of clear-cut chances. This one, we get beat. Wharton opening up play and looking good in the midfield. Penalty, Mateta, he's going to step up and take it.
At 0-0. Battle of wits. But he does it the other way. And that was clearly one single touch and a very strong one.
You hate to see that, sir.
And they just changed the rule. So there was like a foul kick from Mateta. He hit the ball twice. They changed the rule this year in the EPL that you get another go out of it. I guess they're trying to like advantage goal scorers. I get that. Mateta showing what United has been lacking without, kind of a defined number 9 with Šeško out and Zirkzee fill it in, because his holdup was quite good in that first half. His moving off the ball, he had that really big chance a little bit earlier, but he scores the penalty, and United in a worrying position, because the tail of this team this season has obviously been inconsistent play, but we've actually been a much better first half team than second half team. So anyone that woke up early was not assuming United would find a way to get back into this game after going down in the first half. Could have gotten worse right at the end. Sir DeLitt slipped right at the 48th minute in stoppage time of the first half, and United were in real trouble, but Shaw bailed it out, made a big block to keep the deficit to 1-0 headed into halftime. If you're the manager, sir, you're making changes. He's not a big halftime sub guy. We're chasing the game. We got an extra defender on the field. Small pitch. Sellers Park has that tiny pitch we know about well, having gone to see them play a couple times there. Would you have made any changes? I might have.
If the manager's not making changes when Everton's down to 10 men and you're not bringing on an extra attacker, you sure as hell aren't doing it here. He sticks to his guns, stubborn. But, sir, we've had a Portuguese manager in the past who is stubborn. We come out at half, and Zirkzee would get a goal here from a set piece.
High line from Crystal Palace, the drop now. Zirkzee's made a clever move here. Oh, he's found the net. It's a big moment for Manchester United, the equaliser, particularly for the goal scorer.
Hey, we called it out last week. Everyone crying foul on Zirkzee. He hasn't played at all. The fact that he gets a goal here is great. It's a tight angle. It's a great finish. This is a great finish from him. He's a big lad getting in the mix in a set piece. And credit to Zirkzee for playing through the adversity. It's like, give him some time. You got to give him some minutes.
He looked rusty last year when we signed him, and he got up to speed, and he looked better and better. And you needed to see the same. A little bit hard done because he hadn't gotten the minutes from his manager in the first place, being actor to rely upon all of a sudden as your number 1 striker. But this is a great goal. Great ball in from Bruno Fernandes. Tight angle, unbelievable angle. Somehow finds a way to beat him actually far post. And there you go. 1-1. Unbelievable. United back in the game.
But he's also not getting service. So you want to talk about Mateta looking lights out in the first half. He's getting ball to feet from Adam and Wharton from like 40 yards. It's unbelievable the places that they're getting and pockets of space they're finding. Xerxes coming in and he's asked to like head flick on from Lamens going long ball. Like, are these number 9s aren't even getting the ball in dangerous areas. So he's feeding off scraps, and for him to get this goal in a critical moment for United speaks volumes, because it hasn't been easy for any striker at Manchester United, especially the way that we're playing. Another set piece here coming up, sir, in the 63rd minute. It would be Mason Money Mount getting his goal.
Manchester United playing days, but he would have taken the free kick like that. Oh, and Mason Mount has fired it in like that. So there's 2 players who have been maybe unfulfilled at Manchester United who've turned this around for Manchester United early in the second half.
It's a great goal. I don't know if it was planned, but Bruno sets him up on the free kick. Dean Henderson wearing the baseball hat and
never a good sign.
Not a good
Never
look.
a good sign.
Mason Mount going full tuck. Mateta, he goes full tuck. 2 goals for the full tuck today.
I like the full tuck. Also, we talked about it. If there was ever 2 players that needed to step up in the absence of Šeško and Cunha, it was Zirkzee and Mason Mount, and they both did so today. I like this free kick. I think basically Bruno Fernandes saw that the Crystal Palace side was not set. The whistle had been blown. He kicks it on, and our boy Mason Money Mount slams it home. It's a good goal. Love to see it. We're scoring off free kicks. We're scoring off corners. We're just scoring in a way that we hadn't done previously. So I think we took advantage of 2 things. United played a little bit differently in the second half. I also think Palace faded. They played Thursday night football. We did not. They played Thursday night football away to Strasbourg.
Great point.
And they had 2 days rest. We know what impact they had. 8 starters from that game started in this game as well. And I think their legs started to run out. And you know what? That's okay. We could take advantage of that, and we really did by having a really solid second half performance, because they were largely subdued in this game. They didn't have a lot of chances. 58th minute was most notably right before the Mount goal. It was kind of a ball deflection off Zirkzee, almost went into our own net from an own G. But that was largely it. There were some notable subs late in the second half with Martinez coming on for Shaw. Butcher's back in business after almost a year out. Wild stuff. And then Mainoo gets his token substitute in.
And
That's
Dorgu.
a shame. Dorgu as well for Ahmad and Mbumo. So
also, Yoro came out right after half, looked pretty devastated on the bench. His Instagram got rid of his profile photo.
Really?
Going full emo. He didn't delete everything United in the profile, but like, why? Like, I'm old, so I don't get it. I don't understand the social media sulking. It's like, do less. Like, look, Leny Yoro, year 2's big for him. Obviously, big injury last year. Hasn't really hit the ground running. And the youngster, I think he's going to come good, but the mental side of the game is just as important, as that bleeds into everything. And when you start going social media sulking, I get Shaw TikToks, etc.
Never a good sign.
Too much social media. Come on. But I'm a different generation. Can't really comment on it.
Well, let's talk about the players who are stepping up. DeLitte's having a really great year. Shaw is changing my mind. He had a really good performance today, probably one of his better performances this season after I think starting pretty slowly. And Yoro's been off, but he's 20, long-term project. And like you said, it's how you bounce back. It's about resiliency. He's still got a long way to go.
People are getting better. That's the one thing I would say is like I don't see a lot of that. That would be for me one criticism of Amorim would be like, I'm not seeing the youth improvement. I'm seeing a lot of criticism of the youngsters. Like
he's highly critical. I mean, he was critical again. He's talking shit about Dorgu.
The youngsters, I would view like you want to protect the youth. You want to criticize the Casemiros, maybe the Bruce. Like it felt like with Bill Belichick and Tom, he would criticize Tom Brady the most to let the players know because he could handle it. Right. And Sir Alex, he knew Nani couldn't handle it, so he went after Wayne Rooney. Amorim's going after like almost the weakest
kids
of the lot here, and when you start criticizing those guys, who's going to replace the existing guys? Oh, by the way, there's a clear out. It's interesting times at Old Trafford, but I just wish we could see some of the youngsters kick on. That's good for the team. Oh, by the way, we're falling out with Mainoo. We're getting rid of Garnacho. Now Leny Yoro is disenfranchised. Dogu's taking shots. These are the guys we need to come good as a football team over the long term. So a little drama away at Crystal Palace for you. Stat sheet. United 13 shots to Crystal Palace's 13. Shots on target. United win that 6-3. Possession, we did have more of the ball, 57% to their 43. They did out XG us, however, 2.1 for Crystal Palace, 1.37 to Manchester United. But obviously that was related to the penalty. So a lot of people going back and forth. XG Merchants Online trying to make something of it.
I mean, you could argue last game, I think we deserved a point. This game, we probably deserved a point. I think we were fortunate to get a win. If you look at the chances that we converted, they're low XG, especially the Zirkzee one was kind of insane, speaking of the angle. But you know what? Luck goes your way sometimes, and I think we took advantage of a team that was tired in their house in a place we've had a lot of difficulty. They haven't lost in a large spell of games. I think something like 13 games unbeaten at home. We broke that record, and at the same time, United has had a lot of difficulty on the road. I think the only away win we got all season in the EPL is against the Scouse Bastards, falling off a cliff. And let's hear from the manager. So the manager is like, it used to be manager press conferences were nothing. Eric Ten Hag would just grunt. Ole would just tell you what you wanted to hear. And the last time we had a manager that was making box office news every time he spoke was Jose. And he's saying shit before even the game kicks off. He was talking shit about Dorgu, how he's not having a good moment. It's like, you're putting pressure on the lads. You don't need to do that. I don't know. I don't always agree with what the manager does when he has the mic in front of his face. But let's hear what he has to say today after an important win for Manchester United against Palace on the road.
Congratulations on the win. It seemed like the team were a lot more intense in the second half compared to the first half. Did you say anything in particular at half time to get that reaction?
No, just to understand, for everyone to understand the game, that I felt in the last 10 minutes of the first half, I felt that the opponent was struggling, and they would struggle in the second half, and we had that feeling that we need to do something to change the way we were playing, and was that, of course, we tried to change little things in the game, but the intensity and the quality in the way we connect, especially Josh in our connection, was better, and that improves a lot the way we play.
You talk about those little changes. You seem to make a change at half-time with Brian coming inside a little bit, maybe getting closer to Josh. Was that something that you had seen in the first half that you thought that you had to change?
I think it's not so much. I didn't say go near Josh. I just said to the players, we need to be more alive, and you can feel that. So if you are more alive, you are in more places, you are near the ball, more often, and I think everyone did that. But we also need to understand that the opponent was tired also in the second half, and when you increase the rhythm and the opponent gets tired a little bit, suffers right away a goal, you felt that we had the control of the game, and that's it.
And just on Josh, it's his first Premier League goal for nearly a year. I know he's had to wait for his chance with injuries to Mateta and to Ben. How impressed were you with him today, particularly in the second half and the way he took that goal?
Yeah, it was really important. But again, it was not just the goal, even the runs behind. In the first half, he struggled on the duels. He won some duels in the second half, and we improve a lot because of the quality of Josh in second half.
Look, positive things from Ruben Amorim. We can get into it, but he did go. We will get into it in the worst take of the week, where the manager talks about Kobbie Manu. Also Nicky Butt talking about Kobbie Manu, which I think is interesting, and a little drama surrounding him. But he did kind of take shots at Dorgu as well, saying he plays different for Denmark than he does for United, or he has a lot of anxiety for Manchester United. So, playing it straight, but he always has these clips that you don't need, even after a win. It's got to be clean it up, drama-free, protect the youngsters. Maybe you can go after somebody after a defeat. But for me, press conferences should be boring, and the manager should be protecting the players, because that's how you get loyalty. But looks like something's flaring up around Dorgu. Remember, we saw him start early, then he got benched, then he came back. Now he's out of favor. So that inconsistency is going to lead to drama behind the scenes.
And also, you're heaping pressure on the youngster. I think you could say that to him. I think we can talk about it later, but he does look nervous on the ball. As someone who's watched a lot of football and watched Dorgu and seen what he was doing last year, and he looks off his game, but he's also a youngster. So I think you want to protect youngsters. The manager, did he take some kind of truth serum when he joined this club? But because I think he has a tendency to overexpose the things that are going wrong, even if everyone knows these things are going wrong, and sometimes it just makes it more of a kind of a hothouse at United. There's enough pressure here already. This is Manchester United, biggest club in the world. Everyone's out to get us. You don't need to make it any more difficult to be a player at this club, and I think he sometimes has that tendency to do so. The last word?
Last word, Crystal Palace, give it to me, the good.
The good. Didn't play great, but found a way to win ugly. I think we showed decent intensity, and the team definitely fought in the second half. It wasn't great. I think we got away with the one, but that's important because, there are times in the past when we were a really good team and we didn't have a great outing and we found a way to win. So I'll take that. More goodness. Zirkzee gets off the mark with a nice goal. We're going to need him moving forward. And I thought Bruno and Mount had nice performances as well. Those are players that are going to be super important as we move forward in the season. And like I said, we have been a first-half team this season statistically in terms of how we've done goals conceded. We were better in the second half, and I think that's important. We've kind of broken the norm in terms of what to expect there. Also, continuing to score off set pieces. I don't think we want to be over-reliant on a set-piece team, but we could never score back in the day a couple seasons ago off corners or free kicks, and now we're doing so in bunches. I think we're the most in the league at the moment. So that's the positive I'm going to link to, sir. Give me the bad.
The bad is pretty easy. It's this is the football a year into Ruben Amorim's reign that we're going to get excited about. I mean, to me, it's just more of the same bullshit. It's negative football. It's hoofball. It's not what he was brought in for. This is nothing. We saw it in preseason. Really exciting. This is getting results, and it has done over the last 7 matches. But this is not the way that Ruben Amorim. We would not hire him to play this way. The players, for whatever reason, the extra defender isn't helping us going forward. Mbumo fizzles today with not a great performance. We're scoring off set pieces and long throws. The open play is abysmal. Like Crystal Palace look better on the ball in the midfield than Manchester United. It says everything you need to know. And taken in a vacuum, it's pretty rough. A pretty rough watch. This is an entertainment product. The product is not good enough for me. As a Manchester United fan, you need to have exciting, attacking patterns of play. They're just not there. And for me, it's a lot of hero ball set piece FC, but it is effective. So, the bad, you can hit them on that. Where are we going is kind of where I would think about on the bad side, but it's not all bad. It's a results-based game. And right now, we're probably in another rebuild. At least that's what they're going to sell it. So,
That's what it feels like.
If I was the owner, it's top 4. And if you want to play this way, you sure as shit better get top 4. And if you don't, you're fired. Because you either need to be playing the way that you're meant to play and either sink or swim. For me, because you're not getting better playing the current way we're playing as Manchester United. You're not going to compete to win the league. So I think there's a little bit of that there. I'll get more into it on Conspiracy Corner. I do think there's something that went down with Ruben Amorim, Sir Jim, and him backing him, where he kind of changed his tactics in the October international break. It has been effective, and we do need the results, but let's not get too excited. Erik ten Hag's last season, where he was abysmal, we were in 6th place on 24 points, 2 to the good of where we are under Ruben Amorim right now. So it's not like we're guaranteed Europe. We finished eighth that season in 23-24. So there is something. Could we make something of the season? Who knows? But playing like this, you're going to need to guarantee me top 4 to watch this football for the rest of the year.
I don't think you're getting guaranteed for top 4, brother. I think we can finish in Europe. Europe's a big net now. You can finish in the top 9, at least last season, to finish in Europe. I think we're a Europa League team. If you look at this, the performances we put out, the 11, the bench. Look at the bench today. We had Shea Lacey, like an 18-year-old academy player who's never gotten a minute. Our senior football is basically our only attacking threat off the bench, and that, it's just not where you need to be going forward. But we got a next match, sir. We're playing the Hammers. It's Thursday Night Football. The games are coming thick and fast.
We're gonna know.
It's a big one. We're gonna know.
You got to beat the Hammers.
They've had they're struggling. Hammers are struggling. They hired Graham Potter for like a fucking hot minute and shipped his ass out of London. But it's a big game. It's Thursday Night Football, like you said. Let's get into it.
Thursday, December 4th. 12 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern. Manchester United heavy favorites. West Ham find themselves 17th in the drop. In their last 5, they've won 2, drawn 1, lost 2. United drawn 2, won 2, lost 1. So a little better than West Ham. We are sitting in 7th place. This is a big game. With December, there's so many fixtures coming, like you said, thick and fast, and United just need to pile up results. So, you can lambast the manager, you can lambast the style of play. I don't care as long as you get results. Then you can open it up. So at the end of the day, West Ham is a great opportunity. I like to see United maybe open it up against a bad side. So hey, Crystal Palace away, you can be a little cagey like we were. West Ham, let's go for it broke. We're at home. It's a shit side. Let's see a lot of XG. Let's go for it. Let's be a little more aggressive here. Let's not be as cagey as we are.
And these are big ones. The next 2 games are against the 2 of the worst sides in the EPL, number 17th, and then we have Wolves right after, last place. They might be the worst team to ever play in the EPL based on how many points they already have. 2 points, I think that's it. Let's talk about weather.
It can always be worse.
It can always be worse. You can be Wolves. It's going to be low 40s, light rain, lovely English football weather, sir, at night. Let's talk about the Hammers. Talk about Thames Ironworks. Tell us about this club, hard club.
Founded in 1895, West Ham basically was, like you said, founded as Thames Ironworks and reformed in 1900. They are rooted in shipyards and terrace streets of the London East End, a club that has always worn its working class identity on its sleeve. They spent more than a century at Boylan Ground in Upton Park before trading it in for the Olympic Stadium in London, which has been controversial in many ways. But, the Olympic Stadium, it was an upgrade. Like you said, they shipped out their manager recently. They got in Nuno Espirito Santo, who shipped out of Forest. It feels like the managers are just being recycled now and just coming in somewhere soon, sir. So it's just
where's he going to?
Nuno is actually a good manager for
He
West
is.
Ham, but I feel like the roster is not in a good spot.
No, they're one of those teams that like the fans complain a lot about how poor the recruitment has been. To be honest, Nuno should probably still be the manager at Nottingham Forest. There's probably no reason for him to be fired as quickly as he was. Let's talk about tactics. Now, his approach at West Ham is very different than it is at Forest because the players he has at his disposal, like you said, a much more limited squad than what Forest has been building. So they're about compactness, counters, and squeezing basically the value out of territorial moments rather than the long spells of possession. Usual shape is a 4-3-3 that can flatten to a 5-4-1 without the ball and their fullbacks or spare defender dropping in to protect the width of the box. Out of possession, they sit in narrow. Discipline mid-block. They show the opponents to the flanks, and then they jump together looking to win duels and launch breaks the instant they force a mistake. So the direct and the counter, and then in possession, they're happy to play early into the channels or to set it forward. They play second balls. Set pieces are a big part of their threat. So this is not sounding very dissimilar to that Forest opponent we play. They're going to sit back and let United try and prick them apart, and that's been an area that United's had a lot of challenges with, especially without our target man. We tried to finally put some crosses in the last few games, and we didn't have big 6'5" Benjamin Šeško to be there to dunk the ball home. So talk about records, sir. Let's tell how have we been against the Hammers historically and recently.
Well, we're Manchester United, so we usually dominate teams until recent years, sir. We've won 74, lost 50, drawn 32. Last 5, lost 4, won 1, which is incredible. First time I ever played them in the FA Cup in 1911. We lost 2-1. So West Ham having our number lately, but that's not unique to West Ham. Give me an overview of their summer. Who did they bring in?
It's amazing. It's all based on your summer dictates how your season's going to go. There's a couple of notable players. Jean-Claude Todibo from Nice was actually a player United was pursuing, but because of the ownership with Radcliffe and his Nice ties, we were not allowed to make that signing. But they did pick up some EPL-proven talent in Kyle Walker-Peters and Callum Wilson on a free. They're a team that struggled. Majorly because of recruitment. Hasn't been great. Talking about a player who has been great is Jared Bowen. He's our player to watch, 28-year-old English attacking midfield. Always a threat. 3 goals and assists this term for a very struggling side.
This is a player that United of old would sign.
Who would have signed him years ago?
For the record, it's like
Over
$35 million.
Right.
Like Jared Bowen, he's just got dog, and that's the type of players that we need at Manchester United. And he's a great player, but in a team they really can't make his full impact.
I'm shocked he's still there. I'm shocked he's still at the club.
He won't if they get relegated. Recent results, Leeds beat them 2-1. They beat Newcastle 3-1, pulling one out. Beat Burnley 3-2. Drew Bournemouth 2-2. And recently lost to the Scouse Bastards.
But with a red.
With a red card. So they're coming in on a bit of form. If you look at the last 3, 2 wins, 1 draw. And 1 loss in the last 4. So, United should have our way with them, but as you know, there is no easy game. Lucas Paqueta is going to be out with that red. That is a huge benefit for Manchester United that you need to be thinking about, and every little bit matters. Callum Wilson, Bowen, Wan-Bissaka, you remember him? He is featuring and doing very well. Like you said, Todibo will play, but we can't really focus on them. We got to focus about ourselves, sir. Manchester United.
No injuries.
In our lineup. There's no injuries. Apparently, Bruno is all right. I think the manager is decently stubborn, and we'll run it back with the same team.
Wouldn't you? I think I would in this instance, because like you said, we won. It wasn't a great performance, especially in the first half, but I'd like to see Bruno play as one of the front 3 and then play Kobbie Manu, but God forbid that ever happens.
I would like to not play 3 at the back.
I'd like to not play extra defender.
Why are we, it's not really going well back there.
I hate this formation.
We look all over the place.
I hate it.
If you look at the first 30 minutes of Crystal Palace, we are all over this. It's frantic defending. We have an extra defender. It's not really helping us.
Doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense. I don't like it. We're doing it anyway. And I think you could change this team. I think you can make a lot of improvements, but you got to throw away the formation, and that's not happening. So under the Ruben Amorim watch, we're probably going to get the same thing. It will probably be a cagey game.
Cunha might be back. Cunha should be back. Head injury.
Magoo as well.
That'd be great because Magoo is well set up for a team like this. West Ham, that's the one thing they do have is they have size. So they'll be dangerous in set pieces. Odds makers. So we'd probably be tasting this action if we were in England because, United just lost to Everton at home.
Heavy favorites.
Favorites. Minus 260 for United at home, plus 380 for the draw, and plus 600, plus 6 times your money, for the Hammers away. So the fans have spoken. They think it's likely United comes up with a win, 80% chance, just about 20% chance of a draw. No chance of a loss. This guy, oh, shit! Bubs.
Yeah, I gotta. It's split at the top of the table
as
here.
long as it's not you again.
I have not gotten one right in a long time. So
and you're up. You're due.
I am due. And we're gonna go. All right, predictions for the Hammers. What do we got? I have to say we're gonna win. We're gonna beat them handedly. I'm gonna say 3-1 to Manchester United. Got better players. It's Manchester United.
2-2 bottle job. I think we're cruising below it.
How dare you?
I know this team, bro. Bunch of bluffers. There you go. That's all she wrote.
West Ham preview in the books. Let's talk a little transfer news here. Marcus Rashford, PSG links, sir. Break it down.
Marcus Rashford, player that we're looking to get off the books because he has a huge wage. All the other wages are on their way out, right? Jadon Sancho, his contract ends this summer. Same with Casemiro. A lot of the other kind of problem children have moved on. But Rashford, he's got the long contract, and he got his move. He angled for his move to the Camp Nou, and he's been doing pretty well, all things considered. I have his stats in the breakdown, sir. I think he's about where are we at? 6 goals, 8 assists across all competitions, including Champions League. So not terrible by any means. And we're already hearing the Spaniards have been keen to exercise their 35 million euro release clause, but apparently PSG are in the game. And that's exactly what we want. We want to move him on. Obviously, we want to get rid of his wages, but we'd like to get as much money from a transfer fee as possible because you get PSR boost because he's homegrown. And if you could have PSG sniffing, that would be great because the Spanish clubs are always basically broke. Like Barcelona is just I don't even know how that club still operates. They do all these schemes in terms of money in and structuring the deals, and they always seem like one transfer away from going bust. But PSG, they got cash. He feels like a PSG player, even more so than a Barcelona player. But this is good because he's doing pretty well. Sancho's not. Sancho ain't doing well at Villa, but at least Rashford is looking to at least convert on the Barcelona deal itself. But what do you make of this? Do you think he'll end up in Paris? Do you think he'll stay in Barcelona, or do you think neither happen? He comes back to Manchester.
With the 35 million release clause, that the euros, that is the floor for Marcus Rashford ultimately at the end of the year. So with teams knowing that you can get a name that could sell jerseys like PSG, etc.
Right, good point.
For bargain bin basement cheap. There's 1 year left on the deal. At least United has the option. So it comes down to PSG or Barcelona, and like you said, more people interested, the better. The more likelihood a deal gets done. There's a very real possibility he could come back.
Very real.
It's
very real.
It's one of those where Spain, Paris, you're just getting a lot of this comes from Football Insider. Like you said, I think PSG does fit him more than Barca. Barca's going to haggle like crazy. They don't have a lot of cash. So if we can get any amount of money for Marcus Rashford, that would be an upside type of transaction for me. As far as Marcus Rashford goes, haven't thought about him at all.
At all.
I don't even know why we're talking about him on the pod, but for me,
because he's still in the books technically, and we make it a fee.
Books,
and we make it a
he's
fee.
Gone. We need a fee, but
hey, it's good. He's getting goals. 6 goals, 8 assists. That's legit. In 20 appearances, 22 appearances, you'll take it. He's not doing it in England, but it's better than him going sideways and being injured. And
but he can still get injured. That for me,
he can still go sideways.
I hope he stays healthy and the numbers continue because no one's going to pay this early, and it's good. It's going good now, and we need the cash. But ultimately, Rashford has been a failure, and he should be at United doing well and thriving. And unfortunately, he's not, and he likes to give interviews and remind
he does. I'm
going
to say, I'm glad you brought that up. He's doing these interviews once every 2 weeks where he just has a reason to shit on United for some reason. That was everybody else's fault except for his own.
Strikes me as a very insecure young man.
Well, yes.
Unfortunately.
Speaking of which.
Loves the socials. Next bit of news here. Not really news, but this is going to be John's Conspiracy Corner. It is sort of a lull in the news for Manchester United. But I've been having to think. Something changed recently for Ruben Amorim and Sir Jim. The way Amorim's been playing. We always heard about this system, and he's never changing the system. But something has changed for Manchester United in the recent months. And I feel like there was a deal struck behind the scenes. Everyone will remember during October international break, going into that, we only had 2 wins in 8 matches. It was Grimsby Town. The seat was hot. We had barely beaten Sunderland at home. That gave us a little bit of reprieve going in. And I can give you the fixtures to start the year.
Everybody thought we were going to get stomped against Liverpool, right? So everybody was assuming that was going to be his last game because we were going to just get crushed.
So we started, we came out in preseason. Amorim's playing completely wide open. We're going for broke. It's his system all the way. We do great, but we lose against Arsenal. We draw Fulham. You get bounced by Grimsby's in the rain with the Magnets. Barely beat Burnley. It's an open game against Burnley. Get stomped by City 3-0. We beat Chelsea. We get the red card really early. Brentford then beat us away.
That was rough.
And then we kind of clip Sunderland. That gets us to October 4th. And people are pissed because ultimately what's happening is it's the same thing as last season. He has stuck he's basically put a marker down and said, I'm not changing. We're playing this way. It's going to be wide open. We're going for broke. and we were creating tons of XG in these games, right? And it was almost like an XG argument. We were second in the league in XG, but we were 17th in XG conceded. We were just like, we were creating so many chances with the new attack. We just weren't finishing, but we were so open and we were conceding so much XG. And during this period, it ends October 4th. It's almost like, are they going to fire him? And we have Liverpool coming up. And then this article on October 9th drops and says, Ratcliffe says, wants to give Amorim 3 years to prove himself. And so at this moment in time, the heat is on. Like Sir Jim's, his neck's on the line, right? Everyone's clamoring, hey, this is not going well. And there was rumors that he came to Carrington. And obviously, you know, Sir Jim's involved. And I think he met with Amorim. Obviously, they do meet. But I do think that at that point, it was like, hey, you got to change it. Because this is creating too many problems for us. And ultimately, the discussion that probably happened with Sir Jim and Amorim was he made his case saying these players aren't good enough. Just like Ten Hag said, I can't play this way. These players aren't good enough, right? Like
they all say that, except for Ole.
Like Ten Hag said that before Jim came in. So it's almost like Jim
true.
coming in like rewipes the slate. But Amorim saying the same thing. And they come and they agree. Okay, hey, you are safe this year, but I need you to play ugly and just get results to get this temperature down. Because right now we know we don't have the money. There could be another deal coming out of the Middle East in the works that could free us up. And right now, we just need you to batten down the hatches and just get through this year, damage control. And since that international break, we've had 3 wins in 6 matches, but the XG dynamic has completely changed. We have gone down from 2nd in the league in generating XG to 10th, and we went from 17th in XG conceded to 5th. So we completely shored up shop. And you see that coming out with like the Le Mans start. It's all hoofball.
Yep.
We had Onana and Bayindir. Bayindir, his benefit, if you remember, this season we were talking about, hey, he's really good with the ball at his feet.
He was.
Because we were playing out of the back.
Right.
After this international break, Amorim completely abandoned that. It's hoofball, it's set piece, it's long throws, it's 7 behind, bang on the counter, on the right wing with Mbumo. That's kind of been the go-to. We've completely changed it. And I think ultimately this style, and we're not talking system. Amorim's not arguing system in the press anymore, right? That completely has gone. The madness has sort of stopped. And I think that's because there was a conversation between Amorim and Sir Jim, and they came to the agreement, hey, you do this, we'll give you this year, we'll give you the new team, and then you can come and do it again next season. Because right now you don't have the players, and it makes no sense for United to have another 15th place, 16th place, you just doing the same thing again. And so I do feel like Amorim has changed. I don't really rate the football we're playing. I'm, as a fan, frustrated. This does feel like Ten Hag again, where you have a guy who's playing a certain way, you bring him in, you want to play that way, and then he comes up with reasons not to, and then he goes into this negative football. You get results, but you're not going to win anything, and that's ultimately where United find ourselves. And I don't think they've messaged that to the fans, obviously, but it does feel better right now. If you think as a fan, you're like, where'd those arguments go about the system? And Sir Jim is not really in the press anymore because he doesn't have to be, because this new defensive focus is sort of saving us a little bit here.
No, I mean, you get it. He was under real pressure. The football has been dreadful. And you know what? Performances matter. Results matter. As much as, like, we talk about system, we talk about playing a certain way, you want to be able to bottle the two. You want to be 2nd in XG in terms of creating and 5th in XG in terms of conceding, and all of a sudden you've got a pretty frisky team. But right now, it's just about survival, and I think they've said it the same. Hey, we're clearing up the squad. We've already made big progress in that regard. We're going to do even more so next year. Casemiro's going to go. Maguire might go. They might sell Bruno Fernandes to Saudi Arabia and make that move eventually. And I think you're going to see more and more turnover because the team's been a mess. And we want to slow things down in terms of a noise perspective. Ruben Amorim, I don't care about system. I just don't like playing an extra defender in games where we're chasing a match. You know, like the Spurs final will always sit in the back of my head. We had an extra defender the entire game as we were basically like they were sitting by the ball all 90 minutes of it almost. At the same time, anytime we go against a team that's playing the low block, any team that's in the bottom third of the league, they're going to sit back and try to counter United, and it just looks so effective in shutting us down. I already have worries for this West Ham game. So the manager, you know, is he going to be the guy long term? We'll see.
Well, we're not doing his thing. So my argument,
he's still playing his formation. He's just like he's not
No,
going all
it's
in.
not.
He's
It's
still
not.
playing 3 at the back.
Yes, he is. So we are playing 3 at the back, but we're playing completely different. Like if you watch Sporting Lisbon that he coached, the keeper is the ball at the feet.
No,
You
it's
split
pushed
center
all the
backs,
way up, pushed
you
all-
play
yeah.
it out. It's
Yeah.
all control. It's all control. It's all playing out the back. It's all the midfield. It's the wing back. It's everything. We saw that in preseason. We saw it. It was exciting. We didn't win every game in preseason, but it's exciting football to watch. We saw it against Arsenal. We went toe-to-toe with Arsenal and looked the better team.
You should have won that game.
We had control of the game. We created more XG, and we conceded less, and we were in control.
So what would you prefer?
And
You'd prefer
so-
us
but-
losing games? And
So you can't go for it for 14 months, and then now you're like, give up on it. Then why'd you hire him? Why don't you get like Big Sam in here if you're going to play this way? It defies. So then you're saying, okay, well now we're going to have a year of this, and then we're going to get more players in, and then we're going to try again. You got to have some linear improvement. You got to show you can play this way effectively with these players. You can't just say, like, once you do the Ten Hag thing, you're brought in here to play the way you did Sporting, and then now you're going to make it all about the players, which is why we're getting this article here, November 26th. Now the articles are a big clear out, which we've always
I've
heard.
been hearing that for a decade.
So now you're going to sell Mainoo, you're going to sell Bruno, you're going to sell Harry Maguire, and then you're going to watch this shit football for a year, and then you're going to be like, let's run it up Amram's system next year. Like, really? That's crazy to me. And the fact they're going this way makes zero sense because it can't just always be about the squad structure. A manager has to get better out of these players. And so far, with Amram, you've been seeing him get rid of a lot of players. We're not necessarily getting that much better. And a lot of the young players aren't improving. And it's like, with a manager, you got to see some players improving. I just feel like you start calling out Dorgu, you make Mainoo a problem. How is Kobbie Manu a problem? The manager's making him a problem. Garnacho's a problem. I agree. But there's a lot of this going on. And clearly Amram has Sir Jim's ear because we're going this way and we're not even playing the exciting. You have to be going for broke, playing the way we were earlier this year. And the fact we've changed from that shows me that there was a deal with the devil here to just say, hey, we got to stop the bleeding, play this negative football, and just get to the end of the season so then we can give you the rebuild. And that's just what makes me nervous. It just makes me nervous because Amram said he wouldn't do that. Last year he said, we have to play this way now because then next year we won't be better. And we did that, and we're not better. It's just like you're extending the timeline.
I had no problem with it because it's about results, and we were dying, and he was going to get fired. We're better. We're better than we were before he made this change. We're objectively better. We're doing better in the league. Obviously, we're chipping up the table. Is 7th bad thing? We finished 15th last season.
So here
hold on
we
a
go.
second. Let me just.
You say we're better.
We are better.
Ten Hag's last season, 23-24.
That was 2 years
13
ago.
games in, we had 2 points to the good, and we were 6th place.
Okay, where were we last year? Last year, we were not 24 points. And the point of the matter is, he needs to survive. My bigger problem with him is
Not
this.
materially
My
worse.
bigger problem is, we have not
Ten
seen...
Hag left and we were
I
in a
have
very
not
similar
seen
position.
his... Maybe.
We were.
I have not seen his team translate this style of play. I don't give a shit about style of play. I just want to win fucking football games and inspire, attack, with the youth involved, promoting the right type of players, and it's exciting to watch. This is not exciting to watch. It doesn't make sense to have an extra defender, but I understand that you got to survive certain moments because we've been rubbish. I mean, he's been terrible. He was objectively horrible for the first 10 months of his tenure, and then things have started to turn over the last 6 weeks, probably ever since that Sunderland game, when maybe this conversation was had. And I think the point of the matter is, I'm more concerned about who the players he's falling out with. Why are we falling out with Kobbie Manu, and why are we going all in on a system that I've not seen work? It worked in one game, and we lost that game from a goalie issue, and we couldn't score against Arsenal. It's the best we probably looked in his style, but we still lost the game to the team that might win the league this year.
Yeah, so if you want to get into the nitty-gritty, first 13 games in, last season with Ten Hag, 13 played, 19 points, 2 behind where we are with 21. Obviously, you're playing different teams. We were 9th in the league. We're 7th now. It's not like Ruben Amorim came in and we cratered down the table. Like, my whole point is, we're being sold that 7th at this stage where we have been for the last literally
So
3
he finished
seasons.
his 7th when you fired him?
The last 3 seasons, Manchester United has been literally exactly where we are right now. There's no
If he
improvement.
finished at 7th, would you fire him?
What?
End of the season.
Yes,
finishes-
absolutely.
No,
If you do not make top 4,
top 4 cannot be the. If you have to go from 15th place to 4th, that's got to be the bar.
he has had. So my whole point is when you hire a new manager and he has a way to play and he gives up on that, you have to fire him. You have to fire him.
I don't know about
There's
that.
no way.
Don't you
There's
want to be
no
flexible?
way.
I mean, in fact, he was so
as soon
stubborn.
as Ten Hag said, I cannot play the way I did at Ajax, you have to get rid of that. That's like admitting failure.
But that was a little
Like,
bit different
that's admitting
context because he
failure.
had 3 windows, and by the way, he brought in all these players.
you-
Half of them were a bust. You know?
Okay, this is a great debate and a point of contention because ultimately what I'm trying to argue is that Ten Hag played shit football that was not the system he was brought in to play, and he did better than Ruben Amorim is. That's right. If it's all about results,
I think
Ten Hag did better.
I think Ruben
That's
Amorim
what I'm
is
trying to
more.
say.
I think Ruben Amorim is more stubborn than Eric Ten
I
Hag.
don't- but
Eric
we
Ten Hag
got
used to
rid of
sub
Ten
players
Hag.
at halftime.
You understand? Like
Yeah,
the whole
nobody
idea
liked
is like
him.
we finished. We did well. Ruben, like Ten Hag,
He won 2 cups. He should have won 3 cups.
So here's the thing: Ten Hag came in. He
probably would've won that
play
final.
a certain style. He literally looked at the squad and said, "I can't do this," and he played like boring, just grinded out results football. And he did better than Ruben Amorim is. But Ruben Amorim is now doing the same thing. But my point is, if you want that, you should have kept Ten Hag. The whole idea is United need a vision. We need a manager to have a style of play that will be effective, that will improve this team over a year. He's going to come in. It's not going to be great. And then in a year, it will be better. It's not just going to be grinded out results better. It's going to be like materially better. And to see Amorim go negative, like I said, in that October, mark my words, Sir Jim has backed him to the hilt. He knows he's safe. It's the only reason why he's playing this way. He will be completely backed in the summer, and most likely we're going to get some sort of Eric Ten Hag like meltdown next year. If we continue this, Amorim has to go for broke and come in and play the exact way he was brought in to play. The manager can't just... If a manager's making excuses and pointing at players, I just feel like that's only going to go one way. It's going to lead to you like...
I have more issues with
exact
that.
thing Ten
The
Hag did with the
pressers are more
team.
concerning to me than that. The style of play, I don't really care.
He's going to get rid of Bruno, Kobbie,
That is
Magoo.
fucked. That's
like
fucked.
they're gone.
Bruno, come on. And Kobbie, are you crazy?
Are you okay with that?
No, I'm not. I'm not okay with the whole like ostracizing all these okay,
You can't get rid of
Garnacho,
all your
Rashford,
youngsters 'cause of a
Sancho,
manager, you know?
Kobbie Mainoo can't get a minute in this team. It doesn't make any sense. He gets like 10 minutes, 7 minutes. He got like 3 minutes today at Selhurst Park at the end of the dying moments of the game. Let's talk about him. Sir.
It's conspiracy corner, sir. I feel like we got to talk about it because it's on the table. But we're talking Kobbie Manu now. The worst take of the week comes from Ruben Amorim. He says, "I consider Kobbie Manu a starter just like the other players. I simply had to make a choice. In the end, Kobbie Manu wasn't chosen. But in the future, I don't know. I'll say it again. Casemiro wasn't playing. Then he started playing. I just want to win matches. I don't care who plays. I just want to win matches." It's the worst take of the week.
I mean,
because he's saying he's a starter and
definitely
he's not starting
He's
him
not
at
starting.
all.
I know.
That's a bad take.
It's a bad take.
It's-
I like the end. I don't care. I do not care who plays. I just want to win. But like, he is not a starter. When has he started a game this season? Has he started a game in all this season?
Like that's trolling. him.
Grimsby? Like, he has not started a game this season in the EPL.
And here's the best quote I want to say from Nicky Butt, who said, "The scary thing for me is if Kobbie Manu was playing for Crystal Palace, Manchester United would go buy him for 60 to 70 million pounds." And that's true. Because Glasner takes players
It makes him better.
and makes them better. And
my pick.
we
He
are
was
not
my
making
pick for the
players.
next manager of Manchester United.
Name a player that was made better by this manager in the last year.
The only
Name
one,
a player.
Delette's the only one you can mention. He has gotten better,
10, 20%. He's
I know.
nothing.
but he
How many
has gotten
players-
better.
How many players have gotten worse? How many players have gotten worse?
Well, the players who don't play get worse. By the way, Kobbie
Yoro.
Manu's
Zirkzee,
Xerxe.
Mainoo, Nacho. Like, there's a lot
Nacho's
of players
gone.
have gotten worse. They've gotten worse. They've gotten
Kobbie
obviously
Mainoo.
he's
If
gone,
you
but he
don't
was
play,
worse.
if you don't play, you're going to get worse. If you're a 21-year-old, you have to play. You have
But
to play consistently.
Didn't Ten Hag do that where he just played the same 11 and didn't rotate?
He
And
rotate-
it's
he
and
made more
froze
changes,
out
bro.
players over time.
Of course, they both go hard thumb, dude. Hard thumb.
It
They're
gives me it scares me because if you wanted Ten Hag,
who
if
leaves first, Kobbie or Ruben Amorim?
this is all, like I said, in Conspiracy Corner, the deal has been done. There could be a reason for it, like the Middle East, and literally Amorim has been assured he's safe, and he's been assured that this summer is coming, where he's going to clear everything out. And
The PSR rules are changing, so we can spend big money next year if we have some foreign investor come in.
He's been assured that he has complete control.
Steady the ship.
He does not care about the players, and he is literally doing whatever he wants, and he knows that he's going to be able to get his entire team next summer. And we are going to be, and what we're being sold is a subpar product until then. That's what grinds my gears as a fan, is I just know it doesn't add up. Something's afoot, sir. Do you feel it? I just feel it. I feel it. Like Amorim is too safe. He completely changed from this way he was playing from the November 2024 to now. Like he was brought in and then he just changed it all of a sudden.
Like I said,
and it changed it at a very adverse time. And I just feel like something happened.
Maybe. I think you're probably right that something happened. I told him, hey, stop letting the bottom fall out because the bottom is falling out. The way you're playing is we're getting blown out in games where the bottom half of the table.
If he was assured that he was going to be kept for 3 years or something like that.
He's going to be kept. Like you got the season, and what they're going to do is maybe they get a new investor. PSR rules changing. They're clearing out the balance. They're clearing out the squad, getting rid of Casemiro, getting rid of Sancho, getting rid of Rashford. All those players will default be gone next year, even before you consider whether or not we're going to retool Maguire. What are you going to do with Bruno Fernandes? Like that's a lot of wages that you're getting off the books. So he's going to have money to spend. I care more about the fact that he's throwing Dorgu in the bus and it doesn't have a place for Kobbie Manu because we have to play an extra fucking defender.
But that's
like I don't care as much about the whole
but that's
not sticking by his original tactics. It's about like throwing youngsters under the bus. He's done that time and again. We've seen a lot of that.
That goes hand in hand. So the idea of like that goes hand in, like Ten Hag, like I feel like he had attrition. He just he just grinded players out of the team, and we didn't significantly improve. And Amorim is doing the same thing, where it's like he's just getting rid of players and blaming players.
He was getting rid of players that needed to get like Kobbie Manu's not a problem. Jadon Sancho was a problem.
He is now,
but he shouldn't be. Like that's what I'm saying is like the players that needed to get pushed out by Erik ten Hag were a problem. The players that Ruben Amorim is finding a problem with, Patrick Dorgu and Kobbie Manu, are not a problem. Those players are like just young kids that need minutes and need to get protected by their manager instead of exposed. That's my problem with them.
I agree. I agree in some ways, but I feel like if we wanted to keep playing this way, if you had Ten Hag still, you'd be playing some semblance of four at the back with this sort of like, just win results philosophy.
He would have won the Europa League final.
And yes, exactly.
End of like full on 9 out of 10 times he would have won that final. No, neither do I.
Because that's not going to win you the league.
No.
And if you're not winning the league, then what are you doing? Other than trying to make money.
Which is what they're trying to do.
Which is what Sir Jim's trying to do.
Which is what they're trying to do.
Jump in. Fan questions. At K-Gel Joel, crucial 3 points for sure. Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. This time it's the same match. A bunch of individuals in the first half played like a team in the second half. Mount Xerxes stood out. Yoro is a liability, unfortunately, and need to step up his game. I need the manager to get these youngsters playing better.
I agree. Players like De Ligt are ready for resurgence. He's 25. He's been in the game for a long time. It's the youngsters that need to have the protection of the manager and also the confidence of the manager to be put in a position to step up. Because all the faults of Erik ten Hag, he is the one that pushed Kobbie Manu and it was like the stud in the FA Cup final.
And
we beat
Garnacho,
City, and then he went on to Euros and looked like studly once again for England. He made Garnacho look better. He was pushing youngsters in. I don't think
Garnacho, Kobbie Manu, and Højlund were three players that we thought could be the backbone of the next United team.
And they're all out.
And they're gone.
They're all out. They're all out.
But why?
Well, I don't know. Because this manager
why are
is
they
stubborn,
gone?
bro.
Because of Ruben Amorim doesn't rate those three players. Now, I'm not saying that guaranteed they're good, but there's something.
There's something there.
Garnacho's a bad egg. Got it. Like, he's not doing well at Chelsea. Fine. You're right about that one. Kobbie Manu. Fans are not going to follow you off that cliff.
No, they're not.
And wait till you get the price. Wait till you get the 40, 32.
It's like us selling Garnacho. It's like Højlund, 30 million pounds. Give him
Watch Kobbie Manu play against Spain in that. He played in the Euro.
He was the play. He was in the team. He was in the team of the tournament.
It's scary. It's scary.
And guess what? He's regressed because he hasn't gotten minutes.
Yeah, to put him in the camp of Dorgu is crazy. Like that. This is just one of those things where
I like Dorgu.
I'm just nervous. You don't get these players often, and we're selling them. And maybe the ownership wants to sell them because you get that
sweet PSR money.
At D_Cole18, it's 3 points. I'll take it, but it wasn't a pretty game for us by any means. It makes the Everton result look worse in hindsight. I truly hope we buy Wharton and Tyler Adams this summer and bring back Hoyland or another striker to provide depth and competition for Sesko. This team is close. We close?
Positive. What, Randy? Bring us down to
Are we
earth.
close? That's the question. Are we
better.
close?
Close to what? Close to what? Close to what?
Top 4 at a minimum.
I think we're a couple players if everybody's fit from having a decent. But then you have Europe. The thing is, okay, I think Europa League is the right attainment for us for this season. I don't think it's top 4 or bust, given the teams in the mix, given the lack of squad depth. But like you could be close to having a very good 11, but all of a sudden you lose your Šeško, you lose Mbumo, and you don't, and you just did that drop down is huge. Look at the bench that we had in the Crystal Palace game. We had one attacker, and he's never played a senior minute. That's not good enough. And we're going to be playing Europe next week. That's the reason I think we got the better of Palace, and we were so much better in the second half. They completely fell off because they just played a game 48 hours before on the road.
AFCON coming soon. Oof. I do not think this team is close because I feel like the manager is there's an attrition rate. Different managers have different attrition rates. Like if you had a Sean Dyche come in, he's going to try to get the most out of every single player. There's going to be no like fights and fallouts. And you have managers like Ten Hag, who's like falling out with 5 players a season, and then you can't even get 5 new ones. So there's an attrition rate with Ruben Amorim that's high, that it's like hard to replace based on like the current funds. And so I don't think we're close because if we were close, Mainoo is coming in looking great and starting. You know, we have a bench.
He'd be a starter.
Coming
He'd
in,
be a starter.
Like this team would be closer if we could rotate more and we were seeing more effective play from and improve. Like Euro would look good. Like players would be stepping up. Dorgu would be improving. Right?
Manchester United's never winning a title with 3 at the back. Let's be honest. They're not.
No,
we're never going to win a title with 5 defenders.
It's
It's just not going to happen.
Where it's like now Dorgu, who looked like the solution coming in last year, is now on the outs. Zirkzee, who was brought in, is now on the out. There's too many people that are going like every week. There's like a new player we're getting rid of before we even get new ones in. So I think we're still a little far away. At Randy Scrandiel, I'm genuinely shocked. Never thought we had a chance up until the equalizer. We were horrific. Individuals dragging us along is only going to work so many times. I still have no idea what the game plan is with Amorim. Got away with one today. We sure could use Mateta. We could, but we also need to play, service the big man. What would this team look like without Bruno Fernandes?
Oh, we'd be so fucked, dude. I've been saying this forever since the podcast started.
They're going to sell him.
They're insane.
They are going
They're
to
insane,
sell
bro.
him. He is going to Saudi for $100 million.
We'll realize, and the thing about this, we'll realize how great he was when he's gone.
And then we will actually be in a relegation fight. Look, I'm not a fan of his leadership, but I know
you don't need him for the leadership. You need him because
I know that
goals, assists, XG.
Like you look
created.
at today. And
He was
he's out
great.
of position. By the way,
Out of position,
you
too,
could
by the
also
way.
argue that playing him out of position is insane.
Insane. This formation makes no sense, brother. It makes no sense.
Here we are. At Ty Kircher, good to see this team fight back and get 3 points away from home. Previous years, this is a lost cause.
No.
After the first goal goes in, great point. Are we seeing something here? We are seeing something as it relates to the fight. I want to say there is some morale here, but the morale we got to build on. This yo-yo stuff, we can't be doing another shit game against West Ham at home. We need to be stomping
right. West Ham and Wolves, bro. We got to be like 6 points, no big deal.
We need to be
a
ticking
clean
open
sheet.
play.
Should be a clean sheet or 2. When's the last time we had a clean sheet victory? Right.
It's got to be ticking. Like you got to be seeing some open play. You got to be on the ball, confidence. Players grow into it, chemistry. Like these are the attacking like we saw it to start the year. Kind of got punched in the mouth. We're adjusting. We got to be back, sir. So look, it's early, and January we're gonna know.
When we're going to the City game. We'll know.
Sir Jim thinks he has it all figured out right now. Sir Jim,
he walked in day one.
Corner. Sir Jim thinks he's figured it all out.
There's an investor coming
And
in. By the time
something's going on.
By the time
There's
the World Cup
something
kicks
going on.
off, sir, I think we're gonna have an investor at the club willing to put in some real juice.
I think something's going on
Yeah, I think
with
so too.
Manchester United. That's all. I don't know what it is. I don't know what happened, but manager thinks he's safe,
He is safe.
and this season doesn't matter. Is kind of. I feel like this is a.
When's the last season that mattered?
Last season was a
I
write-off.
feel like it hasn't been a season that mattered in a decade.
I feel like there has been an agreement that this is a write-off season already from the front office.
It felt that way last year. Remember January? They shipped out all these players. They brought just Dorgu. We had no
How
attacking
can you write off
options.
seasons as a man? By the way, if we do not sign a midfielder in January? Like,
Which we will not.
What are we doing?
We will not.
Like, what? Like, when are you going to do it?
You don't need a
then?
midfield. You have
When
Kobbie
are you
Manu.
gonna
Play
do
him.
it?
Play him.
Like, he doesn't play Ugarte. Like, he hates players so much. Like, Ten Hag did the same thing where he hates it. He can't, like,
Never play him.
he'll never play Ugarte. He'll never play.
They play
Mainoo 'cause
together.
They're so horrible. And it's like, or you could just try them. Just try.
By the way, they only get better if you play them. They're not going to get better on the bench. They're not going to get better just playing in training anyway, sir.
Put me in, coach. Put me in. That's it. That's the podcast. You like the American Red Devils? Check out our newsletter. Sign up. AmericanRedevils.com/newsletter. You get a free email in your inbox every week. Top Manchester United stories. Please check it out. Sign up. It's free and it helps the pod. Check out our store, AmericanRedevils.store. Grab some merch. Grab a scarf. We got some good ones. Also, patreon.com/American Red Devils. You can support the podcast. Go the extra mile. Help keep the lights on. Sir, give us our top 10 downloads last 7 days.
Number 1, how you doing? How you doing? Chicago, Illinois, Los Angeles, California, Dublin, Ireland, Oslo, Norway, New York, Melbourne, Australia, Charlotte, North Carolina, Brooklyn, New York, Washington, D.C., and last but not least, Dallas, Texas. Appreciate all the American Devils listening week in, week out. Couldn't do it without you. Football's coming thick and fast. It is December, just around the corner, and that means lots of football coming. We got West Ham, we got Wolves, we got Villa, we got Bournemouth,
Back-to-back
we
wins.
got
baby.
Newcastle. Let's get some wins going. We appreciate all of you. Thanks for liking and subscribing the pod. Check us out on YouTube, and we'll see you all next time.